Hey guys, it's the Marine here. I'm bringing you a Masterclass badge battle. I'm in a brand new tank, the RU251. It is the German Tier 8 Scout tank. It is a very fast machine. It has a wonderful gun. It has no armor anywhere, but that doesn't mean it can't be played super effectively. So let's go ahead and jump into this. As you can see, the map is Swamp. It is actually per VB Addict, since I've started using that, one of my strongest maps. I believe I have over a 70% win rate. Now, in higher tier battles, typically you don't see a lot of tanks now going over the bridge over here in this area. They've learned that they're just going to get lit up from people coming up here, which, as you can see, the Bulldog and I are in position to try and do so. Now, one thing I've learned is that the rounds for the AP actually have a pretty low shell velocity, even though they have 190 millimeters of penetration. So that takes some getting used to. And actually, the heat rounds have even better travel speed. And so right now, I'm switching to heat. I was kind of expecting the IS-3 to possibly push around, and I was just going to play a little bit of whole peekaboom with them. And as you can see right now, I am really bad at driving. So just let those heal on their own. So what I was thinking here, as well as engaging the IS-3, potentially try and dig out the T-71. This battle I actually do switch between ammunition types pretty quickly, based on the type of tanks which I am expecting to engage. So if it's a light armored, I'll load Hesh. If it is a better armored tank, I will use Heat. Otherwise, I just try to use AP. The AP has, again, 190 millimeters of penetration. The Heat has 254, and the Hesh has 102, which is just absolutely phenomenal for the heat rounds. And so I had a couple shots here that I could take at this T-71, but unfortunately I was engaged in chat instead of trying to pay attention to the battle. So as you can see there, I was able to get a nice little shot on the IS-3. Actually I had shots of the T-71, which I could have taken, but I did not. So Epic Cheese was just asking me what kind of, or he just made a comment that scouting was one of the harder things to do and why. And I said no, it really isn't. It's just, you really need to just stick to the basics. It's probably the least forgiving, but it's not the hardest thing to do. Depends on your style of scouting. I like to be pretty aggressive with mine. I don't like to just find a bush, sit there, and light tanks for puppies to shoot. I've learned that that style of scouting play is extremely ineffective. I have a gun, I might as well use it. And so right now, as you can see on the mini-map, that the enemy team has decided to push across the bridge up here instead of pushing down. I tell my puppies to ignore that IS-3. He is taking himself out of position, and I'm hoping that these guys will flex back to defend the push which is coming, and a couple do acknowledge. And so, as you can see, the Bulldog, he's moved up top, which is actually a pretty poor decision for him. If he gets pushed from one side, he's going to be pushed out into the fire of some other tanks. And so, as you can see here, I'm using these bushes to engage these enemies. Now, I should have switched to AP here, because the IS-8 has some troll spots with spaced armor, which, as you can see right there, the heat did not penetrate. And I go ahead and switch here to AP. And seeing that there's the E75 downrange, I switch over to heat. Now again, I really wish that T-54 Bulldog, or Walker Bulldog had not pushed up there. He, in here in a couple seconds, is going to get pushed by the T-54, which we will be more or less unable to support. And so seeing that possibility, well, I didn't really see that possibility right then and there. I decided to come over here and try to get cheeky shots at this 12T, and I go ahead and load some hash. I believe this was only like my 10th battle in this tank, so I'm trying to figure out the best spots and times to use this hash round. And so KV4 switched to heat, he goes away, backs down, so I switch immediately over to hash. The greatest thing about this tank with its DPM is I can switch ammo types very quickly and very effectively. Now that the 12T is dead, I load back with the AP. And now the T-54 is made up to the Walker Bulldog. And I switch over to heat. Slightly rushed, but I was trying to get as much help as I could to this guy. A little bit unfortunate there with his angle, but that's alright. So at this point, I believe the IS-3 has started to push up. And Epic Cheese, I promise I was not ignoring you. I really was just slowing at this time. Bit unfortunate there. But the KV-4 is more or less blind, so I was able to take that shot. And now I can see the T-54 is pushing up. I'm pretty sure he's going to be tunnel visioned on other players, so I switched to AP. So now he's focused on Artie. I'm just going to use this gun's DPM to just try and punish him. That was great getting that tank out now, and so I decided to push in on this IS-3. I switched to Hesh because my plan is to surprise him and unload a Hesh round into his ass. Which Hesh becomes completely unnecessary there, but he did. And so right now you can see the enemy team has 3 artillery left and 3 heavy tanks. We have the E-75, the KV-4, the T-29, all are pretty dangerous tanks, and the Walker Bulldog there rightly suggests that I go after the artillery. We're both pretty sure that this line here is going to be clear. The KV-4 was focused over here, E-75 probably hasn't moved out, T-29 may have moved up into this area to use his hull down. And so one of the most fun things you can do with a scout tank is going after Artie. And no, Epic, I was not ignoring you, I really was just focused as much as I could on the game. So I don't know why I still had heat there, I probably was just kept it loaded as default and switched quickly to AP as I get up here. Now with Artie, you never want to drive directly at them. Probably should have stuck with AP here. But I was hoping to just get Hesh into his ass. I should have actually aimed, but for some reason that little tire, I guess, on the back, it blocked his shot from getting, damaged. So just gonna stick the ass of this GWT and finish him off. And so I dive down into this little crater because if the T-29 comes back over, I want to minimize the ability he has to get a shot at me. If the artillery comes at me, I want to be able to get off a quick snapshot and then move out of here. At this point, I'm on 2,400 damage with 4 kills. And so what I do here is I'm on base because I believe the T-28 and the Stura Mill can hold these guys off long enough for me to get the cap. Unless, of course, I get reset. And so here I wrongfully assume that the RD would be the first one to come see me, but alright, let's go over the situation here, which I see a lot of pubbies unfortunately mess up. I'm on cap. I'm getting pressure on their cap, making them have to respond to me. A lot of pubbies, what you'll see do is they will get on cap, a tank will come to reset them, and even though the ideal situation for them to do would be to get off cap and attack the tanks which are resetting them, they'll try to stay on cap and fight from there. Whereas oftentimes with wargaming, they'll set up positions around the map where tanks can engage you without taking a lot of return fire. And so often the best situation is for you, if you are going to be reset, to get the heck off cap and to attack the tanks which are attacking you. Obviously, situation will dictate, but you don't want to get married to the idea of I have to cap. And so here I see that the T-29 is going to reset me. Now I'm going to go over what I'm doing here as well. I'm using auto aim. Auto aim is a very wonderful tool when you want to be able to focus on your driving. And so what I'm doing is I'm using auto aim to help me track him without needing to aim at his tracks. And so when I get to about this angle of the tank I'm engaging, or a little bit further, right there, see that I was able to go straight into his tracks and track him. I didn't need to aim, I was just able to do that. And so about that angle right there, using auto aim, I was able to go through his front drive sprocket, track him. Well, not necessarily there, but here in this one of the next couple shots. I believe this one right there. I was able to track him there. And so I'm able to just keep him there in the spot and get my damage out on him. And so here I line it up again to retrack and I get damage on him. And so I'm not sure how much health the T-28 has, and so I decided to go back and help. Now, unbeknownst to me, the T-28 was actually out of AP right now. He was down to his last 2 HE rounds. And so I'm going to use the speed of this tank to get back to cap and to reset it, if need be. And seeing that it's a KV-4 that I will be engaging, I load heat. And we're down to 3 minutes left in this match. As you can see right now, the KV-4 has 482 hit points left. That is, I believe I averaged 240 or 250, and so that's a high likelihood of a 2-shot. And so I was able to absolutely fly back to base. And I use auto aim here and get lucky with the fire. And now his engine's dead. Able to secure the kill. Again, this tank is just absolutely able to fly all over the battlefield. And now seeing that artillery is left, I may or may not have time to get back to their cap. I need 1 minute 30 to cap. And so I know now that this side of the map is clear of Artie. And so I'm just going to push over this way and just look for him. Going to use my sixth sense to detect when I'm detected, which, as you can see, I was. Immediately make maneuvers. Your sixth sense goes off 3 seconds after you are spotted. I'm sorry, 3 seconds. So, again, he's shot. I know I have more than enough time to get damage into him. Able to get a nice shot there. And secure the kill. Picked up 7 kills. That was just an absolutely fun battle. I was able to flex all over the battlefield and have a very important role in the decision of this battle. As you can see, this was a mastery badge. I picked up this Pascucci medal, which is the third best medal in the game. There are 2 others for killing. There's one for killing 4 already in a game, and there's another for killing 5. I will hopefully never have to attempt to get one with 5, but if I do ever get one, that'll be the best medal I could ever get. Finished with a high caliber as well, and the Top Gun. Ended up with 4,536 damage with 7 kills for base experience of 1,618. I fired 30 shots, 28 of them hit, and I had 4 penetrations. And I did 816 damage upon spotting or assistance. And in the end, I finished with a profit of 10,550. I cannot recommend this tank enough. If you have enough free experience to get through the Awful Panther, I would do that. If not, the Awful Panther isn't horribly awful, but it will be a very challenging grind for a lot of people. But again, this tank is just absolutely so wonderful. The camo values are not the greatest, but the gun handling characteristics, the ammunition selection, its speed and maneuverability are just absolutely wonderful. Anyway, guys, this was my master badge, and I absolutely hope you enjoyed.